Color guard is an extracurricular activity in middle school, high schools, universities, colleges, and drum corps that can be used to complement the marching band show of dance. Knowing how to spin a flag will be beneficial for you because this sport may be a fun talent you can acquire and enjoy learning. In this speech, I will be explaining the parts of the main piece of equipment we use, a flag, and how to properly use it, and in which I will provide examples and present video evidence of how to do these steps. To begin, a flag pole can come in various lengths, but a 6-foot long pole is standard, which can be made out of 3 materials: aluminum, PVC, and fiberglass. It weighs around 1.25 pounds if made from aluminum with a diameter of 1 inch. After taping the flag silk on half of the pole with electrical tape, some color guard members tape every foot of the pole with electrical tape, showing usually where to place your hands in certain skills. This is called cheater tape. On half of the flagpole, there is a silk with a length of 36 by 56 inches that is taped from the top tip down to around halfway. This part is what you see as the pretty part of the flag, usually with a beautiful design to portray the story being told in the routine. Each end of the flagpole there is an engineered impact displacement disc, or as we call it, a tip. They are made with a metal rod that goes down 2 inches into the pole for weight distribution. On top of this, knowing the hand placements are something needed to spin a flag correctly. First hand placement is learned as a simple over-under placement. This is where you put your left hand over on the first cheater tape and your knuckles facing in an upward direction. Your right hand will be on the third cheater tape, aka the bottom of the silk flag. Your right hand will be grabbing in a downward direction with your knuckles facing down. You will be holding your flag flat with your silk to the right. The hand placement is very similar to over or under, except with one exception. Your left hand will be in the same place over on the first cheater tape instead of your right hand being on the third cheater tape. It will mimic your left hand as being over with your knuckles facing up on the third tape. This hand placement is known as over or motorcycle vroom vroom. Unlike the first two hand placements, this one is more complicated. This placement is what my coach likes to call "Daddy, give me money." Your flag will be in a vertical direction with your right hand on the third cheater tape as if you're holding it under like a hand placement over under. With your left hand, you will hold your flag out with the placement of your pole between your thumb and your pointer finger. This placement allows you to do several tosses, spins, and routines. If you are wondering, the reason why we call it "Daddy, give me money" is because your left hand looks like you're asking your father for money. This next placement is not a very difficult skill, and it sounds just as it is. One hand hold. With either hand, you hold the pole on the first, second, or third cheater tape. This placement is the beginning step to every skill on the flag. To continue, while it's important to know the anatomy of a flag and hand placements, the next basic step of knowing how to spin a flag is also needed. The easiest angle to hold a flag and the most comfortable is flat. There's an abundance way you can hold this angle, and this is one of the 2 beginner positions in tosses and spins. Vertical is the next easiest way to hold the flag. To achieve this angle, all you have to do is make your flag go up and down, or in a vertical direction. Main angle we do is a 45-degree angle, or port. The easiest way to do port is think of vertical and flat and go in between. This angle isn't used as often as the others for spins and tosses, but is meant for other skills. Now on to the exciting part, how to do a drop spin. The most simple spin on a flag. The first thing you need to do for a drop spin is having the silk up in a vertical angle with your left hand on the bottom tip and your right hand on the third cheater tape. Now removing your left hand from the bottom tip, you rotate the flag counterclockwise until your silk is down at the ground. Your thumb will be going towards the ground. While doing this, you will insert your left hand above your right, also facing in a downwards direction. Next, you remove your right hand and rotate the flag continuously clockwise until the silk is facing upwards. Your thumb will be going towards the sky. After rotating, place your right hand underneath your left hand, going in the same direction as your right hand. Similar to the second step, you'll remove your left hand from the pole and rotate counterclockwise with your right hand until your thumb is facing down. After that, reinsert your hand above your right, also facing down. You will continue to repeat the third and fourth step to do the skill. Now, knowing the anatomy, hand placements, and a simple spin with a flag, I have asked a few guests to explain what it is like to be a part of the sport and in a color guard team. My first guest speaker is my fellow team member and fourth-year duet and quartet partner, Jaden Dickens. Hi, I'm Lillian Croslin, and today I will be interviewing my fellow guard member, Jaden Dickens. My first question for you today is, how many years have you been in guard?
This upcoming season would make it 5 years.
Okay. After meeting several other competitors, how do you feel about the color guard community?
Mostly friendly. Friendly competition is what I would call it. Because you meet guard members, you talk about your shows, and then, yeah.
What is your opinion with having friends on the team?
It makes a better team, because with friends on the team, you have somebody to go to with your issues, who you can spend every day with, weekends with at competition, stuff like that.
Have you found any complications with communicating with your team members?
Sometimes, depending on how the outside life, outside of color guard is, and so sometimes it's difficult talking to some people about that stuff.
Was there a point in time where you wanted to give up? When and why?
Around the middle of the season last year, because I was the main star for the show, and so everybody expected so much from me, and I felt like I was letting everybody down when I couldn't do what they wanted.
What are some difficulties you encounter in this sport?
Living up to everybody's expectations and making sure that I'm making my coach happy and stuff like that.
Do you believe that color guard made you a better person, and how?
Yeah, because it taught me how to talk to other people, gave me a community to discuss things with, have stuff in common with other people.
Okay. When did you know that color guard was important to you?
Whenever I actually fit in and people didn't really make fun of me anymore for doing a girly-ish sport, mainly considered as a girl sport.
How difficult can the daily skills be?
Depending on who you are and how long you've been doing it, can differentiate, and what you're good at can also help. But for me, it's every now and again I struggle with it, but it's pretty easy.
And my final question is, what inspired you to join the color guard team?
Spirit Squad was whenever color guard and cheerleading joined together in junior high, and having done cheerleading for so many years, color guard just seemed like a new thing to try, and so I continued with color guard, and here I am.
Thank you for speaking with me today and letting me interview you. Seeing how the perspective is on the performer side, I would like to now bring up the perspective of a new performer to Alvarado Color Guard and the Golden Warrior Band, Skylar Gear. Here's the message between Miss Gear and I. Hi, I'm Lillian Croslin, and today I will be interviewing a new member to the Spirit Squad Color Guard team. And her name is Skylar Gear. Skylar, here. When did you first join Color Guard?
When I got into 7th grade.
How difficult is learning the skills?
Somewhat difficult.
What did you see in Color Guard that made you think, I want to do that?
Being able to flip flag and rifle.
Who is someone in Color Guard you wish to be as good as?
My sister, Lily Croslin.
What is your favorite part of being in color guard so far?
Being able to do things with the team.
What are your opinions of having close relationships in the team?
That is really important because the closer we are, the better we perform.
What if you could tell the upcoming performers any advice, what would you tell them?
Be yourself, and that if you actually try hard, it's going to be easier.
Would you want to continue this through high school?
Yes.
And your final question is, how would you explain the experience of being on the floor performing?
It's scary but exciting because you're able to be with your team and be able to perform in front of people.
Thank you. Our final interview will be from the former 2021 color guard captain and performer, Emily Gear. The first question was, how long were you in color guard? She replied with 6 years. What was your favorite part about color guard? And she said, my favorite part about the color guard was the friends I made. If you could tell the upcoming performers any advice, what would you tell them? If you're nervous, just smile. Which did you enjoy more, marching season or winter guard season, and why? I personally enjoyed winter guard more because, in my opinion, it was more impactful and much more fun. What was one difficulty with being a leader in color guard? The hardest part about being a leader was everyone was watching you. Would you want to continue to do color guard in college? Depends on the college. Why did you join color guard to begin with? She said, it looked cool. Do you think you were someone's person that they looked up to in color guard? She replied with yes. What was your favorite piece of equipment? I enjoyed flag and rifle equally. And the last question was, how would you explain the experience of being on the floor performing? She said, I would say it was like being in a movie. With all this, I have provided with the basic skills of color guard and a skill with our main piece of equipment. I've given the anatomy of the flag, the 3 main angles, and a skill we use on a daily basis. You can find color guard anywhere. It may be in your local schools and can be found on the internet. This sport is a fun way to be active and learn several meaningful skills that can help with your career. Color guard helps you build confidence, teamwork, and boost your health. Inside every performer is a beginner who fell in love. Do something new may uncover a talent you haven't seen yet. Thank you.